Our effort to hold our elected officials accountable for their part in solving the problem. Our Peggy Fox was there, and she joins us now live from Capitol Hill. And Peggy, you say the senior senator from Virginia has come up with a brand new idea for a compromise. What is it?
Well, he certainly has a new idea. And you know how we use the term revenue generating? We hear that a lot more than tax increases now because it's more appealing than tax increases. So Senator Warner has a new term he'd like to use, and he thinks it might help. He wants to give the tax increases that would come if we get rid of the Bush-era tax cuts. He wants to give that name a debt reduction surcharge. Call it debt reduction surcharge. And he thinks more people will get behind that term and support the whole plan if they know that their money is going towards something and they have a stake in it.
Failure to deal with the fiscal cliff.
For 45 minutes straight, Senator Mark Warner took public questions on Twitter concerning the fiscal cliff.
Will you ensure that the poorest Americans aren't hit hardest by cuts?
Since being part of the bipartisan Gang of Six, which developed a deficit reduction plan, he's determined to help forge a compromise soon and believes going over the cliff first could be disastrous.
I'm against that. You know, we're not really sure what's going to happen. And there are some who say it won't have any dire effect. But I think there's a possibility. Is it 10% or 50%? That it could throw not only America's economy, but the world economy into a recession.
With an assistant taking on the typing duties, Senator Warner told a questioner that going over the cliff would be especially hard on poor school districts who receive Title I money. People were writing in from both sides of the aisle. Some people wanted to ensure that spending would be cut. Others wanted to make sure that the poor would be protected.
Anybody who thinks that, you know, we can just eliminate waste and fraud or just eliminate one tax deduction here or there and get this solved isn't dealing in reality. It's after the election. We ought to stop blaming each other and get down to the business. There are plenty of plans.
Warner recently met with 80 big-name CEOs who are now banding together to pressure Congress to come up with a plan that increases taxes and cuts spending.
I've spent a longer time as a business guy than I have as an elected official. People in business recognize that the economy is ready to recover. What's slowing down reinvestment is this uncertainty and whether we're going to do our job.
Now, Senator Warner is optimistic because he thinks Congress will realize this. He says there are trillions of dollars sitting on the sidelines. Business people waiting to invest that money as soon as Congress does something. He says that money will just flow into the economy and help the economy. So he definitely is optimistic, and we're all keeping our fingers crossed. Eric, back to you.
Indeed we are, Peggy. Thank you for that. Now,